as your great leader. Is he too chicken to confront us himself?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third podcast of the Men in Tights. The date is the 27th of May 2005. I'm joined by my co-host as normal, Mr. Jalandril Ben Cartwright, the great strange one, Mr. Chris Blako, and Greg Forthergill, or Greg 1982. Say hi, guys.
Salutations.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, guys.
There's always one, isn't there? There's always one. Please do. There's a kettle boiling in the background. You've got to love that one. But hey, we're professionals. We're going to carry on. We're going to keep on trucking through. Right, what have we been doing this day and age? Let's start round the board as normal. Ben Cartwright even. How are you? What you've been playing? How you been getting on?
I have been almost exclusively playing The Witcher.
I have noticed.
Yes, I think everyone I may have noticed. I also played a bit of the new Destiny DLC, obviously.
House of Wolves, yeah.
Mainly today, to make sure I knew what was going on. No,
Yeah.
I did the story a while ago, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have some opinions on that as well.
Cool.
But primarily Witcher, because it's great.
Yeah, we'll be getting round to that once we've done all the introductions. I'll let you and Greg have like a good half an hour spotlight on that thing.
Yeah, better do.
Good. And Mr. Strange One, Chris Blako, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. The boiling kettle in question may well be our dishwasher, so I'm going to keep muting my mic out.
No, that's my kettle. I know that's my.
Oh right, that's your kettle.
It's my one.
I've got paraphernalia doing things in the background. Yes, most of this week I have been playing Destiny. I've been playing Binding of Isaac still. In fact, I killed Satan for the first time this week, which was good. Nice.
Which is a pretty good thing. You can put on your CV, can't you? I killed Satan.
It is. I also killed Death as well, so that's pretty good.
No,
that's going to bring a whole like connotation, Discworld-esque type thing.
Yeah, it's going to cause problems for day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Well, not problems for life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been me really. Still Binding of Isaac, still pushing through that. I've also literally just had 20 minutes on Borderlands 2. Sorry, not Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2, the Handsome Collection. And I've been very, very impressed with what I've played so far. I really do like it. So that's pretty much what I'm doing, but I'll go into those things in more detail later on, I think. Particularly Destiny. I've got a lot to say about Destiny tonight.
Yeah, I've been watching your Facebook and you've had a few things to say. I can't wait for that one. Actually, that's going to be quite cool.
Yeah.
And right, and Mr. Greg Forthergill. Is it Forthergill?
It's Fothergill. Fothergill.
Is it Scottish?
Yes. It's I don't know, mate. I think it's Yorkshire-ish.
It's Yorkshire.
If I'm going to be honest. Yorkshire-ish.
Yorkshire. Yeah, it actually sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yorkie.
Right.
I was trying to think what that would be, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make a point of next week explaining where my name comes from. I'll find out for you.
Yes, why not?
So I can find out.
I'll even put your family crest on as though you're hero.
Yeah, sounds good. Basically, same as Ben. Really, I've had a little bit of a play on Destiny. Done a bit of Prison of Elders, but to be honest, it's been The Witcher all the way. All my spare time has been spent on witching.
On witching? You've been brewing stuff, have you?
Yeah.
You've been gyrating on your broomstick. I've got something to say about Witcher, because I've watched a few videos, and it's a bugbear of mine, and we'll get round to it, though. We will get round to it.
I'm sure there's many bugbears.
Yes.
Well, the graphical downgrade is a thing, isn't it? I mean, that's
that was a PC thing, though, wasn't it? I know it's actually it was a trailer, wasn't it? Yeah.
But we'll get round to that.
Yeah.
No one can ask what I've been doing? Oh, screw you guys then.
Yeah, go on then.
What have you been doing, Richard? Come
It's
on.
so very important.
I've been so very important with my life. Yep, I've been man-managing the clan as normal. It's the Men in Tights clan. Make sure you sign up for it.
Very important.
Very important, please. I need the numbers. I need the ad revenue on my YouTube. I need money. Um, apart from that,
We all need money. We all need money.
Blue too, right? Apart from that, I've actually been busy in preparation for a video that Chris promised he'd make with me for Resogun. I've actually been going back in there and tweaking the ships ready for a graphical display of epic redness. Apart from that, I've been playing House of Wolves as well, just as normal. I'm actually enjoying House of Wolves though. I will be the counterpoint to that argument because I know there's going to be a few bullets coming my way which I'm going to have to dodge. But
counterpoint.
yes. But apart from that, yeah, I've been having a great time. I've actually been playing on the PS3 a lot more recently. Been doing some good old-fashioned gaming on there. Some Dead Space 3. It came out on PlayStation Store a long time ago. Finally got around to playing it.
Yeah.
Loving the game.
I never played it. I played it for a bit and then went, I like Dead Space, but never got around to finishing it or anything.
I think the game would be better playing it as two-player. It needs another person's perspective and having someone freak out at what's going on because the AI doesn't do it justice.
No, that's true actually.
No. Right
Yeah,
then.
I played the original Dead Space and found it to be quite a frustrating experience. Even though it was
Dead Space 1. Yeah.
I mean, the worst offender was I think it's about level 6 where there's a black regenerating creature, and I just wiped so many times, and I just thought nope. So that's going back to the shop.
What you have to do is you have to like lure him into the gas, then cryo freeze him, and then when he's in the gas, you can blow his limbs off and they don't regenerate. But hey ho.
Right.
I mix up with Resident Evil so much, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's a very similar technique on Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Is there also a bit more?
Go
on, Chris.
So as I say, there's also an incredibly illogical asteroid shooting sequence. I don't know if anybody remembers that.
Yes.
Oh God, there is.
Yes.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, you sat on a throne or a chair with a laser cannon, a remote control and a laser cannon outside the ship, and it was incredible. It's actually a point of discussion with some of my friends. Is the logic of the game? You are seeing asteroids flying at you. You would have thought, logically, the big potato-shaped asteroids coming towards the center of the screen were more of a priority than the little tiny pebbles that are flying around the edges, right? But no. The ones that were flying around the edges and were small would do more damage to the ship than the big potato ones flying directly at your face. It's like, wow. Alright, so if I just blow up all the ones around the edges, I won't die and I'll win that bit. You know, absolutely no logic whatsoever. Anyway, yeah. That's an old man rant there.
It's fair enough.
You know, an old man rant in action there. It's going to be.
I believe someone told me that Dead Space even 3 is more action-based and it's not quite as survivally horror.
It's not as horror. Yeah. Well, they also, I think even the producers when they made the game, they said, look, Isaac Clarke, he's been through 2 apocalypses now. You know what I mean? He's no longer this scared engineer now. He's a seasoned badass. Yeah, you know what I mean.
And then he became a baby, didn't he? Then he went. He obviously
and
did follow up
Binding.
Dead Space 4, Binding of Isaac. Yeah, you know, it's like he's sort of.
Yeah, he went back in time and decided to kill his mum. Yeah. How metaphysical can you go?
I know. It's just Well, that's what you know. That's all those experiences that he suffered. You know, that's what it culminated in.
Yeah, destroying your own mom. Yeah, nice. Right then, we're going to do the biggest news topic that we have right now. We're going to launch straight into it. Me and Chris are going to take a little sidestep to our right, and we're going to let Greg and Ben sell us Witcher 3. Take it away, boys. Well, I haven't bought the game yet. Have you, Chris? Chris?
I'm going to say
sorry. I have not yet. No, that's my bad there. Sorry about that.
No,
I have not. I have not.
Why have you not? Why have you not bought it?
My stream.
Because I have money.
Money.
I think my wife
comes down in price.
I think my wife would actually remove my testicles if I bought another game.
I spent £140 on that, and I think it's every minute spent.
Yeah. £140. We're going to get round to that. No, we'll put a pin in that. We're coming back round to that one, you.
I've got my big statue. It's all over there. It's very nice and pretty.
You do know you could have bought Richard and Chris a copy
Exactly.
Witcher, and
For your
could've done
with the
actually
money,
on my own.
Yes.
yeah, and you'd have still saved yourself like 20 quid.
Everyone have a chat
No,
and
it's
give him
not
the
worth
boo.
it.
Yeah, think about that. Think about a
Go on.
donation.
Go on.
You know
I
what
want to have a chat
Yeah.
and give it boo, Ben. Say boo, Ben, in the chat. Come on.
No.
Carry on, though. Come on. Somebody again.
Yeah,
Tell me
right.
what's going on.
It's good.
Yeah.
No,
Why?
it's,
Why is it good? Why is it good?
9 out of 10.
It's
It's
good.
good. Ben.
No,
You
I wouldn't say it
definitely
was
get your
perfect.
money's worth, don't you? You're definitely going to get your money's worth.
You are
because
gonna.
It's
I'm about 40 hours into the game, and I feel like I've still got less than halfway through.
yeah.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean-
of things that I can seem to be able to do.
It's just really clever stuff as well.
Yeah.
You know, like all the difference. You've got your side quests, which are general, like go do things, but you've got your like the contracts for like killing certain monsters and things, and it's just
I was.
it's not just kind of you don't just go find the monster and kill it. It's there's like kind of puzzles and there's a bit
It's
you've
kind
got
of
to
a
use your
detective.
Witcher
I'm
sense,
going
and
to
it's
hunt
like
the
almost
monster
which
and find
is
out where
quite
it is, and then how
quite
to kill it.
cool.
I'm going
Yeah,
to say something about the side quest actually. I find all the side quests to be actually fulfilling. They're not like,
Yeah.
oh, go kill that monster 6 times so I can be happy. It's more like,
it's
you've
true.
got to go do this for me so that I can live my life properly or whatever. They feel like they're
And-
proper. There's not as many of them as there would be in like World of Warcraft or anything, but they're much more
Yeah.
fulfilling.
No, you're
They
right.
feel like
It's
real
not just
problems in the real
I
world.
kind of made it kind of those kind of seem a bit
You skipped
mundane,
over
but they're
my
not.
favourite bit.
Some really like there's really weird ones like where there's one where this guy who randomly springs up around who's like fighting for the honor of his girlfriend, and he's got to kill 100 of these of
I
the
can't remember
next
his name
100
now.
knights that come into
Girl's
the and I
name.
can't remember either, but it's
You
it's
fight him
just
all the
like
time
you
consistently.
fight him and he just keeps turning up, and then you just keep beating him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna get you again," and it's like, "Oh, please go away." But there's some really there's quite a lot of comedy in it, isn't there, as well, Ben? It's
It's very
it's-
dry and
it's quite
witty and
dark
excellent.
as well,
Yeah,
but
for
dark
it's very witty.
one of the
That's
jokes
kind
I
of the
did,
idea of The Witcher in itself.
yeah, but one
You've
of
got,
the
like, the
jokes I did
kind of-
see was I think you were speaking to a herbalist and like you asked her for a mission and she's like, well, I could go ask you to go fetch flowers, but that'd be pointless, and that's obviously
Yeah.
pointing fun at
Yeah,
go fetch
there's-
quests.
there's-
To go
Definitely.
Skyrim, just that.
there is a few little nods in certain directions, aren't there, along the way, I've noticed. But it's also there's the obviously you've got Mass Effect, and you've got your choices between like good and evil. Well, in Witcher there's actually choices that are like lesser bad, so that both
yeah.
are apparently bad, but it's like there's a lesser bad or a worse bad. You really don't have a
choosing
good.
between the lesser evil or the greater evil,
Yeah.
but the lesser evil
That's
is
it.
more on your case about things, but the greater evil
Yeah.
probably do things down the line that you probably won't like.
Yeah, I have noticed actually as I've gone along, just recently actually, one of the things that I ended up doing has caused me to end up in a fight later down the road. Like some
Right,
guys
so-
have come to go and come and attack me because of something I'd done earlier
yeah.
So
on.
your actions
yeah.
seem to have genuine
Yeah.
repercussions.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Um,
But that's the same with
and-
all Witcher, to be fair. Every Witcher game has had that sort of... Your actions
Yeah.
actually mean something, and not just there to make yourself feel better or be better.
Until we get to the very end, and you've got to decide between killing everybody or
The green,
Yeah.
blue, or red.
Yeah, that's
No!
exactly the Mass Effect 3 ending. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the-
Hopefully they'll make a joke of that as well at the end, but I don't. It's
That would be.
it's a
that would
pretty
be very
serious
cool.
game, and it's quite difficult choices you have to make, but you actually feel like your choices do something.
Matter.
Yeah,
And they're not
that's
just
right.
good or bad again, they
Also,
are grace
I know
scales.
I know there was a bit of we had a graphical downscale at some point, but it still looks
there's
pretty
lots
damn
of-
good.
I
it
think it's
still
one of the
looks
nice
pretty
looking
damn good.
games I've seen, to be fair. I don't
I
think they
do.
could do much else.
And,
It's there are a few bugs that I have problems with, though. Maybe because I've played it so much, my world's become some sort of weird place where stuff that happens that shouldn't happen. A lot of people
Yeah.
float around. There's just
Yeah,
a
people
crossbow
get
bolt
stuck
floating
in.
around in the middle of nowhere. I was like, okay.
That sounds like a
There's a
typical
crossbow
people
bolt in
get
some guy's hand at one point. I
Yeah.
was
People
like,
get
You what?
stuck as
hurt?
well.
There was a crossbow bolt just in some guy's hand I was talking to, and I'm like, does that hurt, or are you completely fine with that?
Yeah.
You're
Well,
absolutely
So
alright
actually,
with that.
his character rezzed with like that.
No, it was
Rezzed.
still, he had a crossbow, so I presume it was some sort of weird animation glitch with how
Right,
the
but
bolt
the
was
crossbow
attached
hadn't
to his
fit.
hand.
Yeah.
And I was like,
There's a
Because
few
I
little
think I've-
glitches, but
There's also
think I've-
a place in my world where there is about 5 or 6 fully saddled horses in the middle of nowhere, and some of them are merged into each other to make some sort of super horse or something.
Super,
I'm
super.
like,
sort of, yeah.
they're not leaving. They were there after I loaded my game. I'm like, why are you still here? What's going on?
Like some kind of conjoined twins. Yeah.
Yes, one looks like it has
Like a
2 heads. It's very weird.
Siamese horse.
Yeah.
It's very, very odd.
It's disturbing.
Very, very odd.
That
I don't like going past that
yeah,
area.
That sounds like the
there's
Fallout
issues.
phenomenon, doesn't it? I mean, Fallout has that
It's
whole
got
thing.
very much Skyrim-y kind of bugs, you know,
Yeah.
because it's an open
Yeah,
world,
but
which
it's
anything
open
can
world,
happen.
so weird
You
things
expect
happen.
that sort of things. To be
Yeah.
fair,
there's
it
a-
makes more funny stories than anything else.
Yeah, I don't want to like take away too much from it because for me it's the best RPG that there has been for a good number of years,
Yeah.
if not
It is the most
potentially the
immersive
best.
RPG I've played probably for a long time.
Mm.
And it's probably one of the best, though I do love my Dark Souls, but
Yeah.
it does better than that in a lot of respects, to be fair.
And to be fair, it's pretty difficult. There's points where you think, oh, it's getting quite easy now, but I've done a few contracts and things that I've really like found quite difficult, and you can die. You can
Oh,
get
yeah.
ambushed
I've
by a
died several
few
times.
drowners you know, it just in that kind of almost Dark Souls way.
Yeah,
Where
it does have a
you're just
quite
walking
high
off and
yeah.
like 4 drowners turn up all of a sudden, and they just kind of whack you at the right point, and you kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, that's that then.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
it takes its way from the old RPGs of yore, like the old PC ones.
Yeah.
The
It
RPGs
doesn't
of
really
yore.
forgive
Yeah.
you. Yeah, it's the
Well,
unforgiving style of
I'm an
like
old man.
Yeah.
people that just do not. You die, yeah.
Yeah.
There's not many
Classic.
checkpoints, annoyingly.
Classic example
Issues.
of the unfair sort of like that's somewhat unfair feeling was Baldur's Gate, where you had an open world map and you could walk. The map was essentially square segments of land that had different artwork in it, like trees and forests and cliffs and stuff. And literally, the map would. You could move to the end of the segment you're in, and it would open up another icon for the map in your overall world map view. Then you could move to that new area that was glowing because it hadn't been opened up yet.
Yeah.
And it's using AD&D Second Edition gaming mechanics, which are very unforgiving. And what you could do is just randomly walk into an area, and it'd be like, okay, so I've just been fighting some wolves, and you know they've all died really easily, and I'm really tough now. Walk into the new area, and it's an area apparently where there are loads of basilisks, and they just look at you, and you get turned to stone, and it's like, okay, that's
Yeah.
it. It's not even
No.
combat, not even
No
you know, like
warning or
monsters
anything
beating
as
you
well,
up.
it's
Yeah,
just-
I mean, I'd probably go a little bit further back for the insta-kill method. That was on a game called Buck Rogers Doomsday on the Sega Mega Drive. It was a Buck Rogers game, and on the second level, literally on the second level, and actually on the first level, it would insta-kill you if you did the wrong thing, but on the second level, you had to go on board this derelict spaceship. You had to wander your way through to try and find out what's going on with it, and you're fighting these dogs with predator faces. Literally, they had the mandibles and everything. And you went into this what's like a flowers on spaceships? What do they call them? Bionics?
Biomes.
biological.
The
Biomes.
biolab. Yeah, you walk into a biolab, and it comes up with a text. You read the text, and like you get to make a choice. You either stay in the room and enjoy the smell of home and joyfulness, or you could leave. And if you stay stay there, you'll get it'll instantly give you all your characters 500 HP, heal you for 500 HP for feeling homely. And then you press X again, it says vines shoot out of the plants, piercing through your armor, pulling you towards the tentacle mouths. You're all dead.
Yep.
But it heals you and then kills you.
It was.
That's
It,
fun.
Yeah.
it heals you. You think,
remember
yeah, I've healed and died. It's like,
Well, I
Yeah.
remember my first insta-kill, I think, in gaming was on Leisure Suit Larry, when you have sex,
Leisure Suit
unprotected sex with the prostitute in
I don't
the
know if that's insta-kill.
in the
alright.
bar, and then you die. No, you get insta-killed, you
Yep.
die, you get a
Oh,
sexually
I've
transmitted
never actually
disease.
played.
You start changing like colour, and then it says, "Oh, Larry, you shouldn't have done that," and you die,
yeah.
Wow.
and you have to
Wow,
start
right.
again.
Shows you
Wow.
your
So-
way of gaming.
Yeah.
Well,
Leisure Suit
yeah.
Larry.
It's all coming out now. I mean, we've had this is where the that mad Japanese game that
No,
you
Muscle
no,
Mars.
no,
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 the
that
other one
game's
that I'm not even going to say
vetoed.
its name.
Yep.
Veto.
I'm not-
So it's
Oh,
like Voldemort.
Yes. We're not saying the game's name at all.
Yeah.
The game
Yeah.
that shall not
No.
be
The game
named.
that shall not be named.
Yeah.
Number one of the
so-
Japanese market, though. Go have a look, but we're not saying it.
Probably.
We're not saying-
No.
we're not
Yeah.
saying-
Anyway, back to Witcher.
Yeah,
please,
we'll go
please.
back
Right,
to the main
now you guys have all like got booked it and bought it. Now we'll tell you about a couple of the issues that we've got.
I already said that were bugs,
obviously,
but
the
they're fun,
glitches are
so.
the glitches are fun. There's like a I don't like it. The fact that you can drop off a step and nearly kill
Oh, God.
yourself.
The fall damage is very horrible.
Fall damage is harsh as.
It's
Really?
got down
Is-
at like a
is it
ledge
ha-
that
is
is
it
your
harsher than
height.
Dragon Age?
You'll get like half health. You're like, okay.
Yeah,
think
you
I'll be
can
alright.
yeah, you can drop off ledges and die almost.
Yeah.
But then,
so-
interestingly
Stone!
enough, there's other bits. Yeah, there's other bits where you can like jump off things, roll down, but because you're rolling,
sliding.
it doesn't. It doesn't take your energy off you.
You
But
know,
I've
what that is.
fallen a lot higher, so it's just all a bit. Yeah.
You know what that is.
Sliding
That's,
is
that's,
basically
nice.
it's
that's
like
AD. That's ADD tumbling.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the damage is incongruous. That's what you're saying. It's like sometimes
yeah, it
it
doesn't
hurts
feel
a lot.
right. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel
no.
right any time.
You
I
and
get
your
damage
damn
from
posh
falling,
words.
It's like,
I
I
mean,
got
it's
killed.
early days. It's early days, and I'm sure there'll be updates and things coming and going, and they may well look at the fall damage aspect. I
Oh,
think they need.
because of the fall damage, I died in the tutorial for crying out loud. I dropped off a ledge and went, yeah, I'm fine. No, I'm dead. And it's a tutorial. I was racing my my daughter,
race.
basically.
Yeah, you race Siri at some point.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, oh, dead.
Oh, we forgot. There's the brawls are back as well. You can brawl in the pubs,
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
and you've got horse racing as well.
Yes, horse racing. I've found a way to cheat horse racing. Anytime you run out of stamina, you just block their horses and they won't go past you. It's like, nope, I'm running out of stamina,
That's
not
safe.
letting you pass. Nope.
Brilliant.
Bit of F1 style.
And then you got
Nope.
stamina back, and you're just like, I'm coming back, I'm by again.
But it just kind of feels like going just because I've done like the whole I've dissed it, but I've never actually been played a game where I felt so in touch with what was going on. Even the weather systems, like going in like to the when you're just walking around the woods, it kind of
always seems to be
feels
raining.
alive. It rains and it feels alive. The wind's blowing in the trees. It feels like you're there.
Yeah, there's levels
Yeah.
of wind and rain that change depending, and so you
Yeah.
can have really strong wind, but or just a light breeze that just rustles through the leaves.
Yeah.
It's a very nice weather system.
I mean,
And the sun as well. The lighting on it is very very well done as well.
It's very bright, yeah.
There's there's parts where it's like almost blinding you as you.
I think there was a point where my screen went
through.
white because I looked straight at the sun. I was like, oh god,
And
why
it-
is it so bright in the
It
morning?
filters through the trees and stuff as well, really
Pod
well.
rays,
Yeah.
Yeah.
cool.
Yes, I know.
Cool.
But,
So-
I mean,
that's just.
I mean, my biggest bugbear of the game comes from the fact that I swear they ripped the character from Metal Gear into it. Yeah, that is David Hayter. He's a, yeah.
Oh, the
You want
grizzly
to-
voice.
I see tracks on the floor. They've gone 5
Geralt's
feet
always
that
had
way.
that voice though.
It's just
Since-
like,
well, then again, Witcher
whoa.
1 came out after
Yeah.
Metal Gear, to be fair, but
Yeah.
I never really saw the correlation until now recently.
No.
But also, I mean, we can probably get the best into all gaming. Why is the male protagonist sounds like he's drank a bag full of nails?
He's eating gravel.
Yeah.
Because he's a man and he's gotta be a man with a man's voice.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah.
I've got to emasculate myself.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't very well have a nice, softly spoken male voice. It just wouldn't work. He's got to be rugged. He's a rough, tough monster,
Well, the witch-
monster mashing machine.
Bruce,
The witches are also
Bruce
devoid
Willis is
of
rugged,
emotions,
you know what I
so-
mean? But he doesn't
Yeah.
have a gruff voice.
Although my Witcher isn't.
No, you
And-
see,
and
Geralt's
also,
got a bit of
Geralt's
emotion still left in
different.
it.
Yes,
It's not
he
completely
has.
different, but it still has
No.
it has some subdued emotions
He has
rather
some.
than fully on.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
But still,
So I've got a big question about the Witcher series and potentially this game, which is that
Okay.
the world setting. I mean, it looks a bit like you're looking at images of Poland. When I'm looking at all the screenshots. and
it's
stuff like
very
that,
yeah.
Right.
It's based in.
We're talking like medieval almost, though.
It will
isn't
be
it?
the
It's
medieval
kind of
Poland
set in
this
that
year.
medieval Poland or that kind of Eastern European kind of feel to
I
it.
believe the
almost.
author of the books is Polish, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
possible.
That'll be
what
it.
I'm saying is, what's the sort of fantasy level of the game? So if you go to top end, like I would rate World of Warcraft as being very high fantasy with its, outlands, this floating half a planet with dimensional fortresses clinging onto it and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Burning Legion being basically demons from outer space. It is all incredibly insane. And then you've got on the other end of
Call
that,
of
you've got
Duty.
you've got
Yeah.
no, we're talking fantasy. We've got to stay fantasy.
yeah.
Game of
Yeah.
Thrones is the ultimate sort of like subdued fantasy setting.
I would, well,
So
maybe, yes.
I'd
still
say it's
fantasy, isn't
somewhere
it?
in. Well, okay, Game of Thrones is very subdued though, but it might not be so subdued
In
later
the books
on.
it's less, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
to go out of that.
And okay, I'm going to go with that Game of Thrones. There is a definite element of Game of Thrones-ness about
Right.
In The Witcher.
the Witcher,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Oh,
It even
yeah.
starts mentioning like the North and things like that, and I'm like,
King in the
one of the
North.
white. It says the best swordsman in the North, and it just made me kind of think of
Yeah.
Jon
the,
Snow.
and also it did, and I'm not, I can't deny that, but I do think that there is enough elements there. There's like illusions going on. There's all sorts of there's trolls. There's
Yeah.
it's a little bit more than that subdued, just not really much going on. You've got sorcerers, you've got mages, you've got so there's it's a bit in between. It's not quite
Yeah.
World of
Well,
Warcraft with all the dimensional
I've got a
craziness.
few
but-
things
there's no
of,
ancient
extra
gods.
onto that. The original. The thing you've got to remember first with The Witcher is that originally it was a normal place. It was basically Poland in the
Yeah.
medieval
Right.
ages until something
Yep.
called the conjuncture happened. The conjuncture of spheres, sorry. And that was basically a dimension which had magic in, invading the dimension which was normal, and essentially they merged into one dimension, and that way magic became apparent, and all these monsters started appearing out of nowhere in normal medieval Poland. So that's how the magic came into the world, and it wasn't
Okay.
so much of a normal just normal way of thing. It's just so it has
So
some
it's not
essences of
always.
insanity, like World of Warcraft's level,
Yeah.
but the actual world itself is more akin to mythological things in Poland. You don't really see things that you would recognise, like there's drowners and there's other such creatures that are not normally used in the fantasy games. I'm thinking of some now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose
Mainly
they
druidic
have
stuff, things
used-
like fiends and other druid things, because druids
There's
are
lots
very
of
popular
lots
on
of
there.
different hags.
There are lots
like
of hags, but
water
those are
hags
basically
and
look like witches, really,
Brave
to be fair.
hags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is called
Uh,
Witcher. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah, that is the whole premise of the
Yeah.
game. You are a witch hunter, aren't you?
See, there's also within see, this is how it's kind of going close with Game of Thrones. I'm not going to ruin things now, but I
Hang on.
might do.
Well,
The
I'll
eternal
hold on
fire.
2 seconds. I'm going
The
to
eternal
put a spoiler
fire.
alert up. Here we go. So if you
Kinda
don't,
stuff
if you
that's
don't want to
going
know
on.
about, if you don't know about the story now, just mute your mic for a few seconds. When the spoiler flag turns off, good to go.
We'll be a bit careful though. We're not
Yeah,
gonna
well,
go
I'll put
say
a
everyone
spoiler
dies.
alert
Basically, there's a sect, Eternal Fire, and people who've seen the first or second season of Game of Thrones would know what we're going on
Just
about with the
generally after
Eternal
second
Fire
fire.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
so
They
there's
like
this
fire,
kind
they
of
like burning.
Yes.
yeah, there's
That
this
sort of thing.
Eternal Fire and then there's the witch hunters in there and stuff as well. So it's got that element to it as well, and they don't seem to see eye to eye with Geralt a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Is that your point?
see, not too much spoiling going on there.
Not too much spoiling
Yeah,
going
it's
on.
just the fact that
But
they did have
there's
that
a
Game
lot
of
of
Thrones
like
element.
kind of there's not just like one story is what I'm trying to say. There's not like just
Well, there's
one
lots of
route to the
intertwining,
story. There's
yeah.
lots of intertwining story twists and things. It's really really good. I'm enjoying the story right now. I feel very immersed in it and want to know what's going on next.
Cool.
Definitely, yeah.
That's cool. It's very cool.
One of the best RPGs ever, without a doubt.
I concur with that, to be fair.
So
Definitely.
you'd
So you
even
think it's
rate
alright
it?
then?
Oh, and there's lots of sword porn as well. I wanted to point this out.
Lots of sword
There
porn.
is
Okay.
so much,
Yeah,
so
you-
intricate little details of the sword that change. You're like, oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah,
Like there's
yeah.
pommels that are shaped like cats and stuff. And you're like, oh, that's a
Yeah.
cat skull sword.
I want to
Everything
pummel
about
a
it
cat.
is
you know,
just like, oh,
I don't want to pummel a
flattering
cat.
if you're a
I
sword.
don't-
You love swords. I just love
Also,
swords.
on the whole porn thing,
Pardon?
there obviously
I wanted to
there's
point out
nakedness
a
in.
nice thing.
This
There's
what?
lots
Sorry?
of topless women in that.
Not,
So
Is
Are
there?
we talking Metro style of porn? Or was it Metro Redux, wasn't it? Was it Redux? Or 20...
the new
Metro
one, 2033.
2033, yeah, that were...
No, it's well.
had plenty of ass and
some
titties going on.
nakedness. I did
There-
actually.
there's- yeah, but you know, every now and again there's some boobs. So
There's brothels,
in which
bathhouses,
there's
and
brothels,
then there's
bathhouses,
romantic house.
Now, are you comparing his boobs to Duke Nukem?
Oh, these
don't want to
are
compare anything to Duke Nukem.
The game with a million one loading
these,
screens.
I can just remember the tassels from
Yeah.
Duke Nukem.
Oh, the old
Yeah.
one.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
the
Oh
old
yeah, the
3D
original
one.
tassel.
Shake it,
Yeah,
baby.
wow.
Oh, Lord.
yeah,
Yeah. I was about Duke Nukem forever, but okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
That one did get a bit weird.
It's there's storylines and women have their tops, and you get romantically involved with ladies.
You do.
It's
So
part and
this,
parcel. of the game.
now-
hang on, I
do you
think
get bonus
I've
XP for
realised
it?
why you're playing the game now.
Yeah.
I think I've
It's
realised
just to go from one
I'm doing it
romantic.
for the swords, and Greg's doing it for
Yeah.
the women. That's why.
Yeah,
yeah, it's all
Okay.
clear now.
Yeah.
but it's really good though. It is really really good.
Cool.
I concur again.
You've
Once more.
got one more time. Right, so that's The Witcher done. I might look into that actually. It is looking more and more interesting, more hear about it. I don't know whether to go for the PC version or the PlayStation 4. I know the PlayStation 4 version's good because obviously I've got friends I can play it with. You can co-op on that game, can't
Well,
you?
we can't play it with you, but we can talk about it. Oh, you play it?
Oh, you
Which
can't.
I don't
There's,
do because
there's no cooperative mode, is there?
No.
There's no such thing as multiplayer now.
And it's £45 on the PS4, and I think it's only about 35 on the PC. So
Yeah.
common sense kind of says if your PC can play it,
Yeah, that's the problem. This
you
laptop's
get it on
getting
the
a bit.
PC.
This laptop's getting a bit old.
Every time I think PC gaming, I think of the old days where you had to patch a million times just to be able to play the bloody thing. That's
Anybody,
why I
Yeah.
kind of put off.
anybody want to say Mortal Kombat 10?
Yeah.
We won't go down that avenue. That was a tragic port, and that porter should be hang their head in shame. That was horrible, completely horrible. Yeah.
Well,
Good.
it
Right,
happens.
it does.
It happens.
It does happen this day and age. Right, we've got 50 minutes before our next break. We do actually have a question from one of our clan members, Liam, English Comfort. He has a question for the podcast for everybody, mainly including Ben. But it does
Oh,
say,
of course.
yes. What series other than GOT would you guys recommend? Real life, not anime. What other series would you
TV
recommend
series?
to watch? Yeah, TV series apart from Game of Thrones.
Other than
What-
Game of Thrones.
Other than Game of Thrones.
I'm watching Marco Polo at the moment.
Oh
Fox
yes,
original.
that is pretty good actually.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Basically
Yeah.
about the Mongolian rampage across Asia.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
How
currently
they-
enjoying Daredevil, which is quite good on Netflix at the moment.
Daredevil's
Daredevil's good as
brilliant.
well.
Yeah.
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 What other TV show? I'm falling out of love with Gotham slowly. It's been great. Season one's been
Yeah.
great. Season 2, as it's coming near its end now, it's starting to drag a bit now. So come on, I need more. I need more. It's just like you keep dangling this
I
carrot in
mean,
front of me, and
how's
something
that
big's
going
going
to
to
work?
happen.
See, my problem is right, and I've watched some of it, and then I've kind of like gone on to other things like the Flash and
Green Arrow.
the Green Arrow, yeah, the Arrow, and they're a lot better than Gotham in my eyes because you haven't got that superhero in Gotham.
You don't have
Particularly,
Batman.
it's kind of Batman is.
Commissioner Gordon.
It's almost like doing like I don't know, another like superhero
it's
kind of
it's almost like the
TV
Agents of
series, but
S.H.I.E.L.D.
not having the superhero in it.
Yeah, it's almost like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You're doing. They're trying to be something
Yeah.
that it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It was
I-
ambitious anyway.
Yes. I mean,
it's like
it's been
having
enjoyable.
Superman, but then making it about Lois Lane,
yeah.
and Superman's not in it.
I would not be surprised if that happens. Superman, the
Yeah.
Lois Lane years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. My recommendation is True Detective.
True
Oh yes,
Detective.
there's a lot of recommendations.
Yeah, that's
On
a really
that.
good show.
What's
I've
what's
not
that on?
actually watched all of it. I'm about 6 episodes in, but it's a really thoughtful, interesting crime drama with slight Lovecraftian elements in there.
Oh, no, I
Look,
have to watch it,
you're not getting onto Lovecraft again. We've had nothing
Fine.
but trouble from the clan because of your H.P. Lovecraft.
HP
Love him.
Lovecraft.
Who's hating on?
It's brilliant.
No.
Who's
People,
hating on
I
Lovecraft?
like it.
people mention
I
how
like
you mentioned
H.P.
Deval.
Lovecraft. I think we may have gone a bit too in depth
Yeah.
for some of the clan.
Really?
Not all of them, but some of them maybe felt we went a bit too far into
it was a good
HPs.
derail for 20 minutes. I'll give you that. It was a good derail.
Oh, good lord.
It
was a.
that was podcast 1. That was when you were tired and playing
God. Oh
Iron
god.
Man
Yeah,
at the
you
same
were
time.
also playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I was playing Iron Banner and being very,
Iron
very,
Banner, that's
very
still
slow.
there, I can
Yes.
remember
Is that back yet?
Yes.
Oh god.
it. No.
No, it's not yet. Surely.
No, not yet,
I
no.
thought you said it was back. I'm like, oh no, not again. But
Ah.
we're going to leave House of Wolves for after the break, so we've got still another
Yep.
10 minutes to
Yep.
find. So, does anyone have any little things they want to talk about? If they want to get off a chest, maybe for Warhammer 40k, books,
Well,
films?
I'm going to point out, well, there is the big giant squid in the room.
No,
Yep.
it's a frog.
It's tentacles again. Ben's always talking about
Oh.
tentacles.
Oh no, I can't get into that. No, it's more important than that. It's Splatoon, the game that's out for
Yes.
Wii U on Friday, and I want it now. So
Oh,
what's-
now I
Nice.
know why I don't actually care for it. Because
now
it's
you
on
care
that
for it.
like console that,
No, that everyone should have. You know,
It's
that
no-
everyone
it's
should
no
have
muscle
but
march.
doesn't.
it's no
It is
muscle,
no.
though.
That's
Or
when
it's not a muscle
Nintendo
march
was
because
great.
It's completely
It's no
different.
Polybius either. If anybody knows
no,
what I'm
it's not
talking
whatever
about.
that is. Nope.
Nope. Nope. No
It is a
Polybius.
competitive multiplayer third-person shooter, or paint 'em up,
Paint.
where you paint the ground or ink the ground, and the team with the most ink on the ground in the area in that map wins. You can kill your opponents if you want, not to slow them down, but primarily it's territory-based
Oh,
shooter.
that's quite clever. Quite clever.
And you
It
get
sounds like
cool
a game.
weapons like rollers and stuff. Rollers, paint
It
rollers.
sounds like, was it called De Blob or something like that, which was a one-player game, similar kind of thing, where you had to paint the town.
Might have
I
been.
remember that. I never played it.
No, I played it for a bit, and I got it because it was cheap. It was on the Wii as well, I believe.
So,
Might have been, but
what else
the
about
main
Splatoon?
reason
Yep.
is Activision may do shooters and think let's add white soldiers, basically white grizzly soldiers, but if Nintendo do a shooter, they add cute squid girls. So there you go. That's a very important fact.
Squid Girl. That sentence should not have ever
Yeah.
Should
How-
not
how
exist.
been
It should
said
not exist.
ever. Cute
With 60
squid
minutes.
girls.
Yeah.
You never watched Ikumusame then?
Oh
Tried
god.
to jest, you know.
No.
Squid Girl, as it were. It's a good anime actually about a squid girl.
What does she do?
What? Yeah.
She generally lives in the world outside of the beach. That's about it. It's a slice of life comedy type thing.
Right. Okay.
God. Yeah,
There you
because
go.
the Japanese are known for the comedies.
Oh yes, so
They are.
They are a barrel of laughs. Well,
Oh, I love Japanese humour.
they did give us Space Dandy. I can't knock them for that. They're
Oh,
great.
Yeah.
Takeshi's Castle
Takeshi's
as
Castle.
well.
And
Ninja
Ninja
Warrior.
on anything he
Yeah.
does.
Ninja Warrior
Yeah.
UK,
They
which
also
I'm
brought us
enjoying quite a lot.
the highly bizarre Katamari games like Katamari Damacy.
Ah, yeah.
All the Katamari games are just absolutely bizarre.
And also, we can't knock them that much because they did give us Akira. The
Yep.
best movie
That's
ever.
what they
Was,
do.
The coolest.
yeah.
Pretty much the
Fist-
coolest.
Well, I like Fist of the North Star as well,
Yeah.
and they brought us
Cool.
that. So.
What's
Yeah,
about
Fist of the
soon?
North
Yeah,
Star
it's
was
out
very good.
Friday.
Yes.
It's
Now,
going to be
Is
amazing.
there any talk, actually? I know we've gone, but we can, since we've mentioned Akira,
Mhm.
I believe that isn't there supposed to be a live action Akira coming out at some point, or is this just
Yes.
I want
Yeah,
it,
you know,
I want it to
I did.
happen?
No.
No, I did hear
It's-
that actually.
It is something that has been in development
For a long time.
and I believe it
Yeah.
has had problems.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think there's been some. Here we go. I've
Live
just
action
found that clear.
Akira?
Live action Akira
Yep.
enters production hell again,
Oh, what?
and it's
Yep.
like. I'm sure there was some really odd casting choices. I'm sure like Leonardo DiCaprio or something like that, who's like
Hollywood
perhaps
gets himself in
three
the way.
times too old to be
Any character in
not
Akira.
Tetsuo, the main guy,
Yeah.
Kaneda, I think.
It'll be
Canada, yeah.
It'll be Tom Cruise. I'm telling you,
Oh, God.
Tom Cruise is the guy on the bike.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he's already got his
Canada.
motorbike, so yeah, he's ready for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
He's
I
a
do-
great girl that he can. He loses confidence and then he meets a woman that allows him to.
I'd like to.
I love it.
Um,
I love it. Yeah,
I'd
that's
like to
every
just
time.
just quote this article about the Akira live-action movie. The director has already stated that he thinks none of the characters in Akira are interesting, and that Japanese culture
What?
doesn't produce strong characters.
Oh,
Nice
dear.
guy.
You get that from
It's
Forbes?
just-
Yeah.
Yeah, the Forbes article. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
let's have
like
a read
that's
Well-
bad. That's bad.
That is bad.
Yeah.
That is bad. So bad.
Because I would, if they did it and they did it right, I would watch that movie
100 times.
in an
Yeah.
instant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's just. And I don't really realise like how many people, because it's quite a mainstream movie. A lot of people that don't even watch manga, don't watch
don't watch manga,
anime,
come on.
anything. Yeah, I know. I knew as soon as I said that you would actually slate me for saying that. But yeah, a lot of people think
Yeah.
it's manga, so
No,
a lot.
I mean, you're
take
not-
over.
Yes,
Ben,
I
you're
know.
not-
Sort of
you-
plots, please.
You don't hold any truck with this manga nonsense, do you? You know,
No.
that you see on the TV. You know, the manga that you see on the TV.
Yeah, that
well,
really great manga.
Anyway,
isn't it?
okay.
The
The
anime
modern
you read,
stuff.
yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah,
like
that's right. Yeah.
anime then
Thanks.
don't watch anime but have
Yeah.
seen Akira and love it.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, my
So-
wife does not like anime in any slightest, but she'll sit down and watch Akira with me on the Blu-ray version.
Because you tie her up, you tie her to the chair, don't you?
She's
Yeah.
interested in the story, apart from the last 10 minutes, which is understandable because even that gets me. I'm going,
Yeah.
what?
Just go.
Anyway, I think he creates his own universe. I think he becomes a universe. I think that's what Tetsuo becomes at the end.
He becomes self-contained, doesn't he? Yeah, and then they nuke him.
Well, yeah, they use Akira to nuke him because he's a singularity, isn't he?
Yeah.
Akira. That's the idea. The idea is that he's just a singularity. He's not. And I don't mean in the sense of a black hole. I mean in the sense of what a singularity is. You know, like a technological singularity, or it could be any. You know, it's just a sort of like a point in space time that's just goes beyond all.
Yeah.
Kind of reasoning.
Sure enough.
It breaks the laws of physics, basically.
Yeah. I mean, the other live action which I've been looking at here was Dragon Ball Z. They were going to make a proper live version, not the one that bloody,
God.
Not the one what happened before.
not the one that happened before. They're wiping that under the table because that was Hollywood getting in the damn way. There's actually
Hey, you know what? I haven't seen that.
the
Don't want to.
the Hollywood one.
Yeah.
They even use lines from The Last Airbender, Avatar. You know what I mean?
Oh,
The Kamehameha wave wasn't ki energy; it was airbending technique, as they called it. That's the last air.
Really,
That's
I
the last Airbender. That's the last Airbender. It's like
Oh,
you,
no.
So
bizarre.
completely shy.
20th Century Fox actually grasping to the last of its copyrights. It's like, come on, we can wring a few more pennies out of this. We can wring a few more.
That's horrible, just horrible.
Oh man, it was. I mean, the film was atrocious anyway because they didn't
Yeah.
understand what it was all about. Piccolo was a bad guy. Well, okay, yeah, he was. He's supposed to be a bad guy,
The
but
original Piccolo was.
yeah, but he didn't own Monkey. Whatever. I can't remember his goddamn name now. Goku. When Goku turns into a monkey form, he had a name.
Yes.
The Ozaru.
It was Ozaru. Yeah, Piccolo
The
apparently
Ozaru.
owns him, and actually put him there
Okay.
for a reason in the Fox films. So, oh, for God's sake, get bent.
Completely out of my mind.
Yeah.
Did not want to think about it ever again.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Burn it with fire. Burn it with
Yeah.
fire,
I
people.
mean, Hollywood is incredibly good at times being, not at all reverential with its subject matter. Things like Total Recall. They come in there and they sweep away the old.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and when they do so, they sweep away what made the film so magical in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, Total Recall has got was it a Verhoeven film? I can't remember. I think it was Paul Verhoeven that made Total Recall.
I
He was
can't say for
renowned for his
certain.
it's
Yeah.
got Michael Ironside in it, hasn't it? He was an absolutely superb actor.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Um,
But come to your point. Come to your point. Sorry.
Yeah.
Come to your point.
Sorry, yeah. Well, the point obviously is that obviously the Hollywood remake culture is almost always worse when it doesn't pay enough respect to or
what's-
homage to the
yeah.
original material. So for like Dragon Ball Z, they completely forgot the point of the story and they just used the IP, if you like,
Yeah.
to make a crappy fighting film. And probably the same with Total Recall. RoboCop had problems as well, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
it's
RoboCop.
alright, RoboCop, but it's not
I think
RoboCop.
I think they totally forgot the essence of RoboCop. But he is actually a cop, and he only had one gun. And in this one, he's got like a semi-automatic pistol in one hand and a bloody machine gun in the other. And he was doing all sorts of weird and wonderful things.
Yeah, they made him like into a super robot,
Yeah.
one-man
super
army
robot.
almost.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Where RoboCop, he was just a cop. That was it. Flatline, he was a cop. You know what I mean? And then obviously he breaks his program and he learns to become the cop that we know. Well, the cops that we know of. So he will swear and cuss and all that lot. And well, he didn't swear, but I wish he would. RoboCop would have been interview. He was like, "Fuck you, asshole."
Yeah. He's upholding the law though, and it's swearing breaks the law, so he can't do it.
No, that was in
Jiminy Crickets.
that was in RoboCop 2. That was when they reprogrammed him to be a Boy Scout.
Oh yeah.
That was
Can't
amazing. That
remember
part.
at all.
Yeah, he gets ripped apart by Kane, and when they rebuild him, they give him, instead of having the 3 prime directives, he now has like 50 prime directives. Yeah,
Right.
he's reading Miranda to a corpse. He's to a dead man who's been shot in the head. It's like, you have the right to an attorney. Everything you say will be used in a court of law. He's just going through the motions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember that now. It's coming back to me, but yeah, because RoboCop 2 was a troubled film. It wasn't.
It wasn't as good.
Anywhere near as good as the first one.
No, but at least it kept to its core. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It didn't
yeah,
break away. When the
absolutely.
remake, they've completely stripped it away, and bollocks all that crap. Which we've got the IP name,
Yeah.
we've got
And-
OCP and RoboCop. That's all we need. Make a film.
And thank God Sylvester Stallone didn't get a hold of it, because if he had,
In his
RoboCop
face.
wouldn't have worn his helmet.
Yes.
Yeah.
We won't go down with Judge Dredd line on this one because I have a big problem with Judge Dredd anymore.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone, brilliant actor. Get your face off my screen. Get your face off my screen.
Yeah.
unless
Totally.
you're doing Demolition Man.
Absolutely.
I'm actually saying that. Where did I read? I read somewhere that they were thinking of making a Demolition Man 2. I don't know if it's got Stallone in it.
It could. Yeah, it probably will have.
Yeah.
Him and Wesley
I
Snipes.
think it should. Well, Snipes is dead,
God.
but they could have Stallone back in it. You know, have him as Spartan going around kicking ass in the future and swearing to get toilet paper. But yeah.
But they could have cloned him. Okay, I've got a brilliant way of getting Wesley Snipes back.
You
They
say
cloned
cloning, I'm going to reach over that screen and rip off your He-Man costume.
him. They cloned him
Damn it!
when he was in the prison. He's
Well, it's
back.
quite interesting. It's quite interesting. How old do you think Wesley Snipes is?
107.
60 odd now, isn't he?
He's a lot older than you think. He's a lot older. He's 52.
52.
No, he said 60.
Yeah.
That wasn't older than he thought.
Yeah.
That's actually a lot younger.
Yeah.
No, he looks younger than 52. He looks younger. Same guy
He
as
was
Pharrell
born
Williams.
on the,
Totally digressing here.
He was born on July the 31st as well, when I was born. The day I was born.
Really?
How do
Yeah.
you
Do
know
you know
that?
what?
If you, have you Googled him?
Because he's just googled him.
Yeah.
He's just googled him. Yeah. 'Cause, yeah.
Yeah. He was born exactly 20 years on the day to me.
Yeah, so he could have been like a father for you. Yeah, and guess what? You're born 10 days after me, Greg. So now you can go around saying, well, my birthday's 10 days after Chris's.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I won't do
That's
that.
a better claim to frame.
Should we leave it there then?
We'll leave it there.
And go into the break.
We'll take our first break. Good call there, Greg. Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll catch you all in 10 minutes. See you all.
Super.
See you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part 2 of the Men in Tights podcast. We are still discussing the ins and outs of life. Meaning of life? What's the meaning of life? Chris, go for it.
42.
There we go. Someone's read a book.
Greg answered.
Yeah.
Or watched a movie.
I think Chris has his mic on mute.
Yeah.
He's
Wait
screaming
for the
out
click.
now.
Wait for the click. It's going to be there. Click. Oh, yes.
No, we're doomed.
No, we're doomed. We're
Yeah,
doomed.
no.
We have no conversational
We're
points.
a man down, man down.
We are a man down.
Hello.
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Microphone on mute. Well done, me.
Professional.
Go me.
Yeah.
Even when we're telling him, it
Yeah.
still didn't sink in.
Oh, lordy.
Yep.
Oh, lordy.
Oh, lordy. Right.
Well, I had my volume accidentally turned down as well. Terrible. I'm so sorry.
Right. So, our next point of discussion, and I know I'm going to get a lot of bullets for this one. Destiny, House Sports expansion. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to kick this one off, aren't I? Because I've got the pros for it. I've been playing it since launch, and I actually kind of enjoy it. I mean, it's a kick in the balls not having a 6-man raid team. You know what I mean? I would love to have a 6-man raid team, but I do understand where they've gone with it, what the direction they've gone. Instead of having one massive raid, they've split it into 4 mini raids. You know, so you level 28s, and then everyone builds around. So you level up on your experience as you go along. Apart from that, the story, yeah, it's passable. It does the job. House of Wolves is, we finally discovered that this house was attacking the Queen. This is the reason why she's called us to her aid. Hasn't explained why she's got her army. You know, never explained that part, but hey-oh, I'll forgive that part. We'll get around to that bit later. Probably in a Grimari card somewhere. But,
Yeah.
the missions? How about the missions? Well, there is, 1, 2, 3, and then the Prison of Elders, 4 new areas. No, in total, I mean, most of it is rehash of the old map. Obviously, you go around the map again.
Yeah, it is.
You know, fighting
It's
your way
almost
through.
like the old Ridge Racer style, where you do it the opposite way around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you go
that's- you did that a
reverse
few times,
in
yeah.
mirror mode.
Yeah,
It's a real
that's
Bungie.
it.
It's a time-honoured Bungie shortcut to content.
Yeah.
That very much. I mean, if you look at the original Halo, quite a lot of the original Halo is going forwards and backwards.
Yeah,
Right.
it is. It is indeed. But
That's true.
as I say, I enjoy the new way of leveling now. Although I am slightly gutted that they've took off all the leveling of legendary armor. They've took all the 3 bubbles off that, completely done away with them, and not give us our shards back.
It quickly levels up.
Yeah, and also you get to like level 34 blisteringly quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And then you can 2-hit Crota.
is that what's been timed to you? I haven't
on
done it yet.
hard.
Is it 2 sword Crota on hard?
Yeah,
Wow.
I believe so.
On 33 you can do it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
interesting.
That's obviously if you're pro. If you're pro, what's the word? 2 pro hunter.
Sword bearing.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Also, a hunter helps. You know, being invisible helps a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, no other class has that skill. I don't care. Hunters are OP and they're gay.
How dare you? How dare you?
Very dare you.
Yes.
That's me. That's me and my bitter
Sure.
warlock.
My initial feeling, I've played it. Obviously, you know, we've got a bit more. Yeah, the story's a little bit more substantial to the story that we've had prior, which was no
Dark
story.
Below. Yeah, no story.
Yeah, to having something.
Yeah, it's always a good start.
Exactly. But I have noticed that they've kind of ramped up the aggression on a lot of the enemies.
Yes,
I find them a lot more aggressive. They come for you now.
Yeah,
They hunt, and I think it's just the way that they go around, especially in the missions. They tend to kind of form in around you.
yeah.
Almost.
They will try and
as
pin you
well,
in a
so
corner. They will try and pin you in a corner, which is good battle tactics at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
also, they won't blindly walk into a grenade as well now. Even the lowest minion, if they see a grenade, throw at them, they will try and get out of the way. You know.
Yeah.
So you have to use that to your advantage now. You have to try and push them yourself, or open the
Yeah,
door so you
pushing
can run
back
away.
Almost. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it
well,
makes it a lot more tactical, I think.
Yeah.
In some instances.
Yeah,
And
and
I've got
I
a
know
lot
I'm
of
about to get
views,
shot, so bring on the bullets. Bring on the bullets.
Yeah.
We'll give it a go.
Yeah.
I've played through on my Hunter the entirety of the content on my Hunter, and I'm actually just running around with my Titan in the Vestian area, Vestian Outpost now. A few things strike me about the Vestian Outpost in that it is not really much of a social space. It's not bad. It's not really like somewhere that you'd want to really stay. If you know what I mean.
It's pretty small as well.
It's
Yeah.
It's just
Small
it's
and
just a gateway,
sparse.
isn't it, to get more missions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what kind of strikes me about this expansion, most of all, is that it feels like this product has been made by a variety of studios, or teams, and the final product doesn't hang together properly. So the first sort of problem that you get, if you like, is when you initially kick off that going to the Vestian Outpost, you get this nice animation of like the Earth and the Traveller, and you know, you sort of zooming out in the solar system, and you get to the Vestian Dynasty, and you get this voiceover from Petrovenge, and these ships fly in like really nice patterns. It's really cool, and it's like, that's cool, but what does it really mean to the game? It doesn't really mean anything. It's a really broad image. Then you get to the Vestian Outpost, and you get a mission to walk around it and talk to the people.
Talk to everybody. Yeah,
Which
that's
is-
God.
which is quite cool.
But that's a very MMO thing to do.
Yes.
When you go to Petrovenge, I mean, I'm going to it now, and obviously I've done those missions on it, but it just seems like the narrative isn't really tied in at all. You're just asked to do a quest, and all of a sudden there's this guy called Skolus, and you go to Venus and have a fight, and you see some whizzy new things when you're there, like these servitors with like weird lines on them,
And the
cool
shark,
new
the shanks, yeah.
shanks and stuff like that. And it's quite a tough little mission, and it's good fun, and that felt really good. But then the second mission after that was absolutely atrocious, and it's just this one where you're running backwards through the map, the first map in the game.
Through
you know, when you
Cosmodrome,
wake up
yeah.
in
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's just it. And it didn't. There was no like climax to the fight at the end. You just got to the end, and there was a few fallen
fizzled out,
knobbing
didn't
around,
it?
and yeah, it totally fizzled out. And it's like, oh my god, this is terrible content.
Hmm.
Who thought this was good? And then we've got, I think the third one. This is where the quality goes up again. You end up going in the vault of glass, and
That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
having
you
kill
return to the Vault
oracles.
of Glass.
Yeah,
That's
quite
cool.
nice.
That was a good
That's
bit of
cool.
story. That was.
Mm.
It was weird
the
being
whole
in there
thing-
alone.
Yeah.
Felt like it just didn't hang together. And then obviously you've got the last bit, which is fighting Skolas, which actually was really cool when you're jumping across the platforms and stuff. And that felt more like newer content. That felt more like there was effort put in. And so then what I did was I accidentally, again, because nothing's explained very clearly, I accidentally started a strike off, which I thought was a mission to kill some other random House of Wolves Fallen that wasn't explained in any way, shape, or
Oh, the
form.
wolf packs.
Or I played the strike, and the strike is a really
Easy strike.
it's not easy.
I'm
Well,
not
it is
sure
easy,
I
but
played
it's
the
not,
strike yet.
it's,
Oh, is that
it's-
is
Oh,
that, is
yeah.
that the scarred?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
there's
Yeah.
nothing really wrong with it. It's not like Omnigul, it's not awful. It's
No.
just kind of fun in a way. And it has a nice flow to it, and it doesn't feel laborious. Certainly didn't.
It's
do it
quite
with
short, isn't
20.
it? Actually,
Mm.
it's
But it
quite
starts
short.
off on the moon,
strike.
and you end up on a ship, a skiff,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
quite cool.
And you have that
And-
tank battle, and you got nowhere to move.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Fallen Walker that
Hmm.
comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
And then the last sort of piece of content is the Prison of Elders, which it's okay. It's okay, but
Yeah, that's
It's
your
one of the
raid.
best bit of the
Yeah.
DLC, to be honest.
That's your raid split into 4 manageable chunks.
yes, but they're very like. It might be, but there's a lot of the sameness in them, isn't there? Essentially it's horde mode. I mean, it's not bad. To be honest, it's not bad. It's entertaining. It's fun to do, but it doesn't have that social thing where you think, right, I need to get 6 people together to do this raid.
That is the
It
biggest
doesn't have
part.
that team feeling because it's just a 3-man
Yeah.
strike
No.
essentially.
They should have had like level
And it-
35. They should have had as a 6-person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mm.
made it
They
more
should.
difficult, but
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, my
and
problem with the 3-man mission, 3-man Vault of Glass is that I am almost always late to the show with 3 people, and then there's 3 people already doing it, so I'm like, alright, I'll go play Witcher then.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is a lot of the reasons why I was playing Witcher this week.
Um,
'cause I kept thinking, oh, I may
Really?
as well
Did
go
you not
go.
think? Oh no.
No, I always
Well, I
checked.
tried to get in there, but oh well. I'll go
shucks.
play Witcher.
I always
Oh,
check to make
damn.
sure if people were playing, and then I realised there's 3 people playing Arisen of Elders.
Hmm.
That's why
I mean,
I was waiting for people to be free.
Nah, I've just happy been playing Witcher. I've not even really thought of Destiny much. And I know it's going to be annoying because everybody's going to be level 34 and I'm going to be level 32
Well-
and... Yeah.
You won't
I've got
miss.
quite a lot to say in the upgrade system because that is one of the highlights of the expansion.
Mhm.
But just a little, little thought here about House of Wolves, right? Is the way nothing is really explained again. It's like, why exactly are we going into the Prison of Elders and killing off the prisoners? What's the reason for it? Why are we doing it? And why
I feel
in
like it's some
fact?
sort of game show.
Yeah,
What
well, that's what it
We
feels like.
just follow
Why-
them. It's
What was
Running
that?
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the things like, what's more epic? Traveling to the Vault of Glass, unlocking it, awakening like an ancient kind of like evil or ancient presence force, being sent through time, creating relics to prevent us dying and defeating giant robot artificial intelligences,
Or a game show.
or some kind of like game show style thing where
It's
it
like
goes
Smash
unlocked.
TV.
Yeah,
To be honest, it
that's
is
what it
like...
was.
It's it is lazy, isn't it? Like, I'm going to say
Yeah.
it as it is. It's quite a lazy way of getting... Because they
content,
won't have had
really.
to do much. And I appreciate that there's been tweaks and the AI, it's a little bit more aggressive. It's a different style of playing it, but At the end of the day,
I
it's like an
personally
arena with waves of enemies coming in at you.
I mean, I don't think you've met the bosses then, have you? You haven't played a 32 strike or 34 strike where you meet the bosses
No,
I fought a boss.
I haven't.
on the 28.
You fight a boss
I've
in the
fought
28
the
one,
28
yeah.
boss.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's just a flat boss though. He's just a bigger knight
Oh.
or a bigger minotaur.
That's why it was like I actually didn't do a melee attack, you know. I actually killed him with blade dancing. And I was like, you didn't do a melee attack at all.
On level 32 and above, they have abilities like the knight will actually. Oh, pardon me. But no, that's why you don't drink Coke on a podcast. People learn. You on level 32, the knight actually ignites the floor. You know, so you've got to jump. You've got to keep jumping, keep off just stay off the floor whilst his rage is active. You know, and if you stay on the floor, you'll just die instantly. The Cabal one, he's turkey head as we call him. He's got the big side mohawk plume. He now has a phase shield, so he'll switch his shield from flame to void to arc.
Oh
Periodically. Have you took about a damage, he'll change his shield pattern, and that's a pain in the ass because you've been hammering onto him with arc, and all of a sudden now he's screw you, I'm flame, I'm solar now. It's like, oh good god.
That's clever.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I haven't met the Minotaur yet though.
It,
I've yet to beat the Minotaur.
I faced the Minotaur and two of the guys in the team, including myself, had galleys, so we just shot him.
Was that the standard Minotaur? Was that the enhanced Minotaur?
Standard.
Yeah,
just shot him with 7 missiles and he died.
Yeah, the standard one is quite easy. I mean, I took him down with Thunderlord. I think 2 of us with Thunderlord brought him down quite quickly.
Yeah.
But obviously when he gets to like level 32 and above, he has an abilities as well, so he'll do something to the arena which makes it unfair. Gives him an advantage. So there's little things like that which obviously you guys have yet to taste.
And I've yet to see that, but in all fairness, it's hardly like a game of for where am I going?
Full circle.
Vault of Glass, is it? It's not really like Vault of Glass where there's any like there's that level of complexity to it, and you kind of got little tasks to do and stuff. It's just kill the enemies that come at you.
There's not as much. Well, there is micromanagement to a degree because on the missions before you meet the boss, you'll have either VIP target which you've got to kill because he'll make his way towards a point. True. The splinter mines and the dismantle mines to do as well. Like there's things going on. You have got to micromanage, but you've got to do it more intensely as a 3 people because there's only you and 2 others. So.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, those bits of it bring in the team element of it, and you've got to kind of work together. And it's like, I'm near that one, I'll get that one, and oh no, we've only got 6 seconds left. Everybody's gonna have to pile over to there, and so there is like that element to it. You're right. I'm gonna have to reserve judgment, but I'm not. It's good, and the new enemies and everything else is good, but I'm not overly happy because there's no 6-man content and stuff. And
it is a fair point. I will give you that. It's a fair point. There's no 6-man raid, which I would prefer an 8-man raid. An 8-man clan is a proper clan size. 6 men is just not enough to get the job done.
No. And what disappoints me as well, while we're on it, is the fact that there's not kind of an upper level in like Fog and Crota, that they've not kind of added another difficulty level to it. That's just my like almost Nightfall raid or something. Because I said this like at the time, why not just make a Nightfall raid or just make it add that level of difficulty to it. Because if going in at 34, there's no point playing it once all your characters are 34, because that's it, it's done. So there's no reason to play Crota, because you can kill him in 2 shots, like with hard mode now. So what's the gain from it?
Yeah, true.
Well, you can get basically vanity. Vanity is the ultimate sort of like thing to take away, which is you can wear your, your Vault of Glass raid gear, and still be 34.
Which I am doing right now. Well, not right now, but
I'm about to, yeah.
yeah.
So,
Just leveling up, then put the etheric lights onto it, and I'll be happy because that Vex helmet for the Warlock, beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
yeah.
Well, here's a question for you then, Greg, especially when you're not too happy with House of Wolves. Will you buy Destiny 2 when it releases?
But I probably will, because all in, the this House of Wolves hasn't been great, but I've enjoyed the rest of it. So if they were gonna make, and it's gonna be, I don't know how that's gonna work, and whether you know, Destiny 2 is gonna follow on, or it's gonna be a whole new game.
Apparently, it's
I
going
think that
to be a
kind
whole
of
new game, but they're going to let you transfer your character, so everything that you've done so far will carry on through.
See, I don't know, because that brings into question then every time, like, they decide, oh, do you know what, we might not have done that right, they're just going to do so Destiny 3, and you bring your character along and it's like a whole new game again, and you start again. It just doesn't add up to me.
Yeah, but it's not
because
going to be...
you kind of like wiping the game every time, and it's like, well, we've just played a game.
It's not going to be a start again. As far as what I've read into, it's not going to be a complete wipe down. Okay, now you're reborn again, and all that last.
Yeah.
Is that if you do have a character, all well and good, you can skip the tutorial, you should get back into the battle. But if you haven't, it's got its own little tutorial section, which you're born, eyes up, guardian, and run through that part again.
Yeah.
And it will just rapidly accelerate you through.
Yeah.
The rest of the game, I am putting that Coke away.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I'd like to see some of the stuff that, you know, obviously we've heard about the story, and that maybe the Traveller isn't good and he's bad, and we've been doing it all.
I still think it's Rasputin.
All this time.
I still think Rasputin is the ultimate surprise. Bitches, I'm the bad guy all along.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Because he was part of the collapse.
He was part of the collapse, and also the Vex don't touch him. The Vex almost defend him. You know, to a degree.
He's friends with his Vex friends. I mean, to be fair, the Vex could be what Rasputin becomes, and are going back in time. You know, there's the whole text in. Just warn you that this could get very geeky and very technology laden.
Go for it. We've got half an hour.
There is oh good. There is a card, isn't there, in the grimoire?
We may have to stop you halfway through.
Yeah, we might have to have a break halfway through.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a card in the grimoire which is basically what you just said, except it's not that. Thank you for telling me what the weekly Nightfall strike is. I didn't want to know. Okay, inventory. Primary, I think it is, and I think it is Bad Juju. Pretty sure.
That's Total, wasn't it? Total was talking about that.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Bad Juju.
I have seen a card that it says something about the Traveller, and it goes, some people, and right at the very end it says, some people believe there's parts of the summit, or blah blah, somebody somewhere kind
you read really well.
Maybe the Traveller isn't all he's kind of portrays himself to be, or something. That he may well have brought. He might have brought on.
Yeah, I think I know where Chris is trying to go. He's going for the Tolan's description of the kings and queens.
Yeah, which is yeah. I mean, I've got it here now. I found it. It says here, I drive myself to the edge of madness trying to explain the truth. It's so simple. Elegant like a knife point, it explains. This is not hyperbole. This is the furthest thing from exaggeration. Everything. I'm not going to read it all out, but basically it says, you know, he's saying, why does anything exist? And he says, don't look for a reason. And he talks about that. He says, why do we have atoms? Because atomic matter is more stable than the primordial broth, which is actually really, this is true sort of science here talking. Atoms defeated the broth, that was the first war. So what he's saying is stability came from the quantum states at the start of the universe. Blah blah blah. There are two ways to be, and one of them won, and everything that became next was made of atoms. Because that's true. Because absolutely everything is made of them. Atoms made stars, stars made galaxies. Blah 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 blah. But what he's talking about there is the passage of time, you know, which is kind of important. And then he talks about the nations with the queens and Essentially, the future belongs to one of these queens. Her rule is harshest and her people are unhappy, but she rules. This explains everything. This is why the universe is the way it is, and not some other way. Existence is a game that everything plays, and some strategies are winners. The ability to exist, to shape existence, to remake it so your descendants, molecules or stars or people or ideas will flourish, and others will find no ground to grow. That's what he's saying there. So that's basically like what the Vex, you know, and the Cabal and the Fallen, etc., are all trying to do in, you know, humanity is trying to do it.
To
They're
be
trying
the
to just
strongest
get to
weed.
the top position, you know.
Yeah.
There is a
and
card,
then,
isn't there, though? That
but then he says
just
here,
specifically says about the traveller and
But it
what
says here-
potentially the traveller meat is.
it says here, everything is becoming more ruthless, and in the end, only the most ruthless will remain. And then it's put, this is the weird bit here, it says, in brackets in capital letters, it says, look up at the sky. Yeah, in capital letters, and it must be, he
Right.
must be talking about the traveller.
Mm-hmm.
Only the most
Yeah.
ruthless will remain. The traveller is utterly ruthless. And they will
Hmm.
hunt the territories of the night and extinguish the first glint of competition before it can even understand what it faces or why it has transgressed. So that would be, that exact comment there would be the Vex coming from the future to prevent the competition before it happens. Yeah.
It's almost like Terminator then.
Potentially.
Going to kill Connor.
So
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun.
yeah, hence the name of the game being called Destiny, because it's the Destiny coming back to get you.
So you're extinguishing. They're extinguishing your destiny. There is no
Yeah.
destiny.
Almost
Or
like
they're
conflict.
trying to stop there being a destiny.
It's almost like
Well,
conflict,
the
and then you
whole-
get
the whole
expunged.
thing, the whole thing ringed in spear. Sorry, I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm reading and thinking. Hang on. So the whole thing.
It's a very difficult task.
It's very weird. Yeah, because it says here, a gentle place ringed in spears is a traveller. Like, it's Deus Ex Machina. The traveller probably
Machina.
came from the future initially, and the traveller coming from the future was like a beacon that pulled the darkness towards it, which is other races from the future, like the Vex. That's what I think as well. That the whole thing is kind of like a sort of fait accompli because of the traveller coming from the future towards now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's a very that's a very good sci-fi concept for a story, but it's not one that's particularly easy
See,
to
do you not
say in a
think
game.
though that we've literally like just we're thinking up all this stuff and it really is as shit as they've actually made it, and it's just like a bog standard shitty thing, and the travellers come,
Yeah.
you've got to save the day, and there's bad things,
Go
kill
fight
them,
the
Yeah.
bad enemies.
kill them,
Yeah.
kill them, they're
You're
bad.
the light. You are the light,
Yeah.
Guardian. Well, think about why is the traveller ruthless? Because he has an army of immortal ghost people. You know,
Yeah.
when we die, we get resurrected. We're not allowed to die.
Oh,
We don't
How
have the
horrible.
right to die. We just have to continue. Well, we do have the right to die, but not permanently. So we're
No.
continuously resurrected. So if you think
Yeah.
about the factions, if you think about the Destiny factions as fantasy factions, you know, you've got the Vex with their
oh no, we're
traditional-
the dead, aren't we? We're
Yeah.
the undead.
yeah,
Oh
the Vex are
no.
like traditional monsters, hobgoblins, goblins, minotaurs, you know,
Yeah.
just very traditional basic monsters.
Yeah.
The Fallen are the space gypsy, space chavs, you know, vandals, dregs, you know what I mean, the space chavs. Then you've got the
Okay.
Cabal, which are
Well, they have
space
very degrading
marines.
names, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Fallen are space marines, because there's all
Yeah.
space marine legionaries from 30k.
Smash
And the
everything.
Yeah.
Well,
Hive
they
are
even
just like-
put in on the Cabal thing. It's like, yeah, they will kill. It's almost like the I can't think of it now. Anyway, they basically they will cut if there's something in their way and they're making a galactic highway. They're destroying
Smash it, yeah.
They're
Smash
going to
it.
smash the Earth in. Guide to the Galaxy. That's the one.
That's
I was
the one,
thinking
yeah,
of.
The
the
It's
Vogons,
literally there,
aren't they? The
but
Vogons.
It's like,
yeah.
boom, there you go.
Yeah.
If that's in the way, tough shit. We're ploughing through it and we're going to demolish it, and that's what they do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
cool.
So yeah, okay, and one final thing about House of Wolves, one more thing, is House of Wolves is an expansion about the Reef and about the Queen, and you don't
Mhm.
see the Queen once in the expansion. Not once, you don't
You
hear her
do
voice.
once.
You hear her, but you don't
Yeah,
actually
you
see
hear
her.
her.
Good point.
I think you see her as well in the cutscene, but other than the cutscene, I don't
Your
believe
actual
you see
character
her.
doesn't see her though.
Mm.
Yeah, but the cutscene is not related. Well, it's not part of the game, is it really?
No,
You know.
I mean,
not
Just
really, but
overlaying,
no.
really.
what's the bet they're going to reintroduce Queen's bounties now? Well, not Queen's bounty, Queen's Wrath bounties.
Yeah.
So she's like, you know
Probably.
that there was that 2 guards and there's one man stood there. He says, "There's like you can't go no further than this door, right at the back of the reef."
Yeah.
You know what's that's
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
open up, and there's going to be the Queen, and she'll give you, go kill this person, super
Yeah.
nightmare
Oh,
mode.
Well, you know, it's a very good suggestion, that, Richard. If that does open up, and the Queen sat there with her pervy brother.
Oh, I wonder if there's another ghost in there as well.
Oh god, you.
Must get all the
I
ghosts.
managed to get my ghost hunter bounty on it.
You
Yes.
couldn't stop talking about it.
No. I found 52 ghosts now, which isn't loads, but it's enough to get the
The trophy.
ghost
still
hunter
have those.
bounty.
I have a life still, so there you go.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
says the man who spent £140 on Witcher. Shut up.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
My
No,
life
argument
is
is
around
invalid.
Witcher and other things.
Your argument is debuffed straight off the
Perfectly
bat.
valid argument. No.
But he has got a nice, pretty Geralt trophy now
He does
that he
indeed.
can polish every day.
He
I
does
do.
indeed. He likes to polish his Geralt.
Who doesn't?
Ben likes his Mr. Sheen, don't you? To spray onto your Geralt and polish it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
To be honest, I am slightly jealous of the little figurine of Geralt. I do
The other
want one.
things, I'm going to point this out. It's not just a figurine. The figurine's probably worth.
It's a posable figure. It's an action figure. It's G.I. Joe.
Not posable. Not posable though.
If it
Is it a
was,
toy?
that would be
Statue.
better.
It wouldn't be because you would have joints, and the joints make things look ugly. This is what I've always said about like art. There's certain, I can't remember the model name, but there are popular models that have articulate joints, and they just look ugly.
Action
because of the
Men?
fact that
Yeah.
no, they're
Yeah,
models,
Action
they're
Men.
actual like anime models and such, but they look ugly. 'cause
Hentai,
you can see the
no.
joints, and it's like, no, stop with this. Try to fight the cliche.
And the real problem is that how do you join a tendril or a tentacle?
Tentacle. Yes.
Well,
That's the real issue. That's the real issue.
well, if you're doing normal hentai, there won't be any tentacles. There.
Okay. We are going to get into a very, very dark place. Right, let's quickly get back on track
It's not
then,
my
shall we?
Moving swiftly on.
Moving swiftly
Let's
on.
go back to the light, Guardian.
Yes.
Yeah.
You go out to the light.
So, so before we start to close up the podcast right now, let's do what's coming out on PlayStation Plus, which should be coming out as of 2 weeks next week.
Next week.
Next week, I do
Yes.
believe.
The next Wednesday.
So, as of next week Wednesday, leaving us is
Wow.
Ether 1, Guacamole Super Turbo Championship Edition, The Unfinished One, Race for Sun, Moo, Saki Boy, and Hoo Hoo Kun. They're leaving
I
us.
really
So
like
get on like on.
Guacamole, by the way.
It is.
Guacamole.
It is
Very
quite
good.
cool, isn't it? It's just
Good.
it's just permission to go smash things, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I quite enjoy it.
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
joining us.
I haven't played any of the other ones.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't. I saw it on Steam. I never got around to buying it. I was too busy doing Blood Bowl at that time. Damn you, Blood Bowl. But joining us on PlayStation Plus for June is Schools of the Shogun Bonafide Edition on the PlayStation 4, Call of Juarez Gunslinger on the PS3,
I like what you've done here.
Cloudbreed Kingdom on
Oh.
the PS3. Shut up. Future Diem, which is a PS3 and PS4. That's actually tipped as a Star Fox McCloud lookalike.
Alright.
Star Fox lookalike Future Diem. And Super Exploding Zoo on the PS4
And that's
PS
it,
Vita.
isn't it then? Right, that's
And-
the end of the
Shut up.
the
Shut up.
PlayStation Plus.
Shut up. And
Super exploding.
Super Exploiting. And the...
Which is, I think you open a zoo and you get to explode animals.
yes.
That's all I.
So,
Super
I'm
Exploding
you
Zoo.
surprised
get
Petter
to
aren't involved in this.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Well-
have to download the game just for shits and giggles.
I just want to see what it is.
Yes.
Super Exploding Zoo to me says that
Yeah.
you can explode animals in a
Yep.
zoo or something.
I have no
That's what
idea.
it says to me.
And top of the bill then for PlayStation Plus is going to be Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes on PS4. Now that's going to annoy a lot of people. I can guarantee you that for a fact,
Who bought the
because
demo?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's-
people who bought the demo a few months ago, Ben Bonnie, Earthworm Ben, as for one of them,
Mhm.
is going to be super cheesy
Yeah.
that we're now going to get it for free next month.
Well, I need to break some news to you guys actually.
You
Oh.
bought it.
Metal Gear Solid, which is I have never played a Metal Gear Solid game. in
What
my
is
life.
wrong with you? Get out my
Wow.
podcast.
How
Leave.
do
Get
you
out. Go.
exist?
Yeah.
I know, it's
Wow.
amazing, isn't it? I'm a Metal Gear Solid virgin,
How
so
do you
it's
exist
going
in
to be.
this world?
Yes.
There aren't many of us now, and there's
shouldn't
going to be
be.
obviously less, next week when I do play Metal Gear Solid.
Ground Zeroes. But the
Um,
problem is, you're coming into the story half-cocked. I mean,
There's so many more you could have played. That's so amazing.
yeah. I
Snake
mean,
Eater,
yeah.
the original.
Yeah, I mean,
I love the
I'm still trying to
original.
work out the chronological order of it. I'm struggling to work it out.
It's
there
some
is
kind of like
chronological order somewhere.
weird sexual subtext to the game. I mean, that's the
Whoa.
big question.
Snake Eater.
Why have you got a character called Solid Snake? Why have you got a character called Liquid Snake? And why have you got a character called Snake Eater? It's all a bit.
No,
Character
Snake
called
Snake
That's
Eater.
the name of the game.
That's the name of the game.
All right, okay.
It's called
so
Naked Snake, isn't it?
Yeah, he's Naked Snake. Yeah,
Pardon?
he's Naked Snake.
Yeah.
Naked Snake.
Naked Snake. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
Yeah.
I think that might work.
And then there's also, for some reason, like I remember playing, and a girl. I don't know if you're on the bike or she's on the bike, but she comes out on the bike. I think it's her, and she's just there, and her boobs are just like boom in front of you.
You mean your
Who's that
mum?
woman?
You mean your
That
mum?
maybe.
That's Eva. Your
Oh,
mum.
I don't know.
That's
Is that
yeah,
either my mum?
Yeah,
that ain't
that's
my mum.
that's Snake's mum. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
What? So
Oh, yeah.
he's
Oh,
sexualized. He's sexualized
No, because that's
Snake's
Big
mother.
Boss. No.
No,
It's
no,
fine.
no.
It's Big Boss when it's that point. And it's
Yes.
sexy.
Okay.
Yes.
What?
No,
What?
but
What
also
was this?
she does jump on a Ducati in Metal Gear 4. She does ride. That's when she
Yeah.
dies, and she falls off her bike. She's got Snake on the back.
And she's old.
She's old. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
I'm
got
still wearing an outfit, which is just like, okay.
yeah. And she does pull the zip down slightly to give a little bit extra cleavage. But yeah.
Oh, God.
No, old cleavage. not
Old
good
cleavage. It's not new perky cleavage, yeah. But
No.
yeah, the Naked Snake
Weird.
is a secret agent, and the Snake Eater is just called the mission. It's very James Bondy, especially when you're climbing up the tunnel and you get the
Yeah.
theme tune overtures as you're climbing up the tunnel.
Yeah.
Snake Eater.
He's the man.
Yep.
Mr. Golden.
Who eats snakes?
Yep.
She's the
That
man,
kind of
the
stuff.
man that eats our snakes. Something like that.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Greg, I didn't realise you had such talent. Actually, that's.
Yeah.
She's gone. Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
And obviously he meets Eva in it. They do a mission together and blah blah blah. Twists, turns, all sorts. We meet a young Ocelot who's the main bad guy, but we don't know that yet. Well, we do know that, but he was young at the time, so.
Was he the main bad guy in the first game? Or...
He's the main bad guy in the second game.
Yes.
Right.
And he's a bad guy in the first game.
Yes, he's a bad guy. He's not the mainie, yeah, but he's just
No.
he's the
He's the
puppet
first guy.
master.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the end.
Obviously they no, they don't actually have normal children, do they? Because she gets inseminated, doesn't she? She goes into the Solid Snake program. She gets inseminated by him because he gets knocked out by Zero. He gets captured by Zero. They take his semen. They inseminate Eva. She's a willing donor.
What?
She has twins. No, she has triplets. No. She has twins and another boy. The twins are Solid Snake and Liquid Snake. And then she has a third son after them, called Solidus Snake.
That's a question. I'm presuming that the names Solid Snake and Liquid Snake are like military pseudonyms. They're not the actual.
Actually, they're called Snake because of their father. Because their father was Big Boss Naked Snake.
Naked Snake, yes.
Yes, and they get their surname. It's like Snake.
Right. So the surname is Snake.
Yep. His actual proper name is What's it
Is
called?
it Pliskin?
Is
Snake
it?
Pliskin?
No, yes,
No, that's
Telling you.
it's Iroquois
Snake
Pliskin, isn't it?
Plissken's from
Yeah, no, the
Snake
thing is,
Plissken is from the New York Escape from New York films. You know,
yes,
John Carpenter
yes, but
played by.
they did troll him. That's the thing is in
Oh my God!
Metal Gear
Really?
2, they trolled Escape from New York, and they said, "What's your name?" And I think he says,
Oh.
"My name's Dave Pliskin."
Oh yes. Yeah.
Oh my God!
And they troll. They troll Kurt Russell basically and say no, we were first. We were first. But yeah, so then you've got the two brothers. They split apart. They don't like each other. They fight each other in an epic duel of life and death and a big metal robot and stinger missiles.
Because it needs to happen.
Because
Fight on a big robot.
yeah, because it's Japanese. You need to fight on a big robot. It's not an end of the fight till you fight on a big metal robot.
No.
Um,
Unless big robot was involved and without on it.
Yeah, and then that game ends. You start again in Metal Gear 2, where you play Raiden, who is his proper name is Raiden. Yeah, Raiden, or Jack the Ripper, as his proper name is, little Jack.
Yep.
Jack. He is part of the Triple S program, which is the Solid Snake Simulation program.
Yeah.
And he is like a counter-terrorist person, and you get reintroduced to Ocelot, who has now got who had his arm cut off by someone called Grey Fox, another ninja, and now he's got his arm amputated by he's got Liquid Snake's arm amputated to himself. The arm is symbiote, which then takes over the psyche of Ocelot, so he becomes Liquid Ocelot. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ben.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right.
That's exactly right.
Not at all convoluted.
Not at all. Yeah, I'm trying to dissect it down. Then we also in number 2 we meet Solidus Snake, who was the third son. He wasn't part of Les Enfants Terribles. He wasn't a twin. He was a son born after.
Yes.
But he didn't.
So the difference there is that he's got us at the end of his name. What kind of family, has like, children called like, let's just say, Ben and Greg. And so my first son was Greg, my second son was Ben, then my third son was Gregus, and my fourth son was Bennis. It's just
Well, I can't say on.
Oh, Bennis Tennis.
That's his 10th son.
I can't talk about something on stream, but after the podcast, I'll let you know something. Yeah, but we'll carry on. Yeah, do you want the rest of the story or not? Because
sorry, I'm sorry. I'm just like a little bit not shocked, but just like wow.
Yeah,
the madness of it.
It's because they're like science babies. They get given these names. They do it.
They weren't a traditional family, if you like. Then.
No.
Except for Solidus, who for some reason was.
Yes, he was.
Name you Solidus.
Yeah, he was born native, and he was Solidus. He was born with the Fox Die genome, which the twins have, which is supposed to kill them at the age of 30. So they don't.
Right.
They can't genetically, and they can't reproduce either. They've been spaded basically at birth, infertile at birth. To make sure that they don't become these wrecking warlords, they're designed to die at 30.
That's quite interesting.
And it happens by a way of rapid acceleration of age. So when they hit they're like mid 25, they go into like a rapid aging, and they like for every year they go 10 years.
Oh, that's harsh. Very harsh.
That explains why he was so old in number 3, was it, or something?
4.
Number 4. Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
Is when he's old.
He's old and withered. Yeah. So where was I?
Can I just ask one more question? Obviously, I know nothing about the franchise.
Yeah.
Probably going to point
Go on.
I know absolutely nothing about the franchise at all. So, is it sort of like completely established then that Solid Snake is for his gene situation very old and close to dying soon?
Yes, he.
And also.
Go on.
Also, is he like I take it he's close to dying,
He's
as well. So
when we meet him in Metal Gear 4, he is roughly 60 years old. He's equivalent to like a 60-year-old. So 60, 70.
Right.
Back problems and everything.
Yeah, he's getting back problems and coughing up blood all the time, and that's because he's smoking now.
Doesn't help with stealth.
Oh yeah, because he has been smoking since the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what it'll be is it's called in science. It's called your, which is the amount of twists the telomeres in your cells have. If you have lots of twists in them, you live longer because your cells die slower.
Well,
because when a cell divides, it loses one of the twists of its telomere when it divides into two more. So the act of subdividing the cell reduces the telomere length of the two replicated cells. So that's what happens in aging.
Yeah, it keeps you looking youthful, doesn't it?
Yeah. So the more telomeres you've got.
so oil of
the longer
Olay
you
doesn't
well,
work, people. Don't buy it. Don't use it. It's useless. Moral of
I
the
know
story.
a lot of gamers do use oil of Olay.
Yeah.
We're gonna warn them.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we need that stuff.
Yeah.
Right, and I'll tell you what, we'll leave the rest of that story if you want it at another time. Either or go play the damn game.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like I don't have to play the game anymore. That's it. I can just pick up number 5 now from where it
Well,
picked
5
up.
is a bit of a special case. That's the only problem.
Yeah, number
We're
5
back
is...
to Big Boss, aren't we?
We are back to Big Boss, yes we are.
On a horse.
So
Apparently
are they going
he's
to kill
not
off
dead.
Solid Snake then? Is that they're going to kill him off or what?
Well,
What's
apparently he at the end of 4, I mean this is big spoilers if you haven't played the game, I do apologise. At the end of number 4, he's stood over what he thinks is the grave of his dad, and he puts a gun into his mouth because he doesn't want to die of old age. He wants to die a soldier. Yeah, he wants to die with a bullet, and he can't do it. Also, an arm grabs him on his shoulder. He spins around. He sees Zero, who is his dad's mortal enemy, well, friend, a plus mortal enemy mixed in. You'll have to read the lore.
That's an interesting situation to be in.
He's a frenemy, and he says,
Frenemy, I love it.
Yeah, I think it's something like your dad wouldn't approve. And as the camera pans around, you see actually Naked Snake in a wheelchair. Yeah, he's all hooked up to machinery, being kept alive on life support. And he's there.
Does he look a little bit like the guy from Big Trouble in Little China? I would imagine that he would.
no, unfortunately not.
He was pretty decrepit looking, wasn't he, that guy?
He was. Yeah.
Pretty superb makeup on that guy, actually.
Yeah.
For the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, then he stands up, he just salutes his dad and walks off into the sunset. That's as far as we know what happens to Solid Snake. Surely there's going to be some miracle cure to Foxdive. They're going to find him, haul his ass back into it.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do something really cliched, like give him some rejuvenating treatment, and all of a sudden I'm young again, and I can kick ass.
Something which just denies Foxdive, yeah. Which is just...
Until then, they can keep going back in time, so it's fine.
Well, I suppose so. They can just
There
keep
could be other bits of his story that they forgot to mention.
There's that as well.
There's like, oh, by the way, this happened like 10 years ago.
They did it with Raiden. Why not?
Yeah.
They did the whole Raiden side story, which the game's brilliant, but the story does not make 1 ounce of sense.
No.
It's just absolutely But let's not cut things up. Let's cut anything up.
Yeah.
Building anyway, not a problem. Big sword.
It's pretty nice.
Apache helicopter shooting rockets. Well, I'll jump on the missiles then. Climb the missiles up to the helicopter. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, sounds perfectly feasible to me.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Raiden.
Let's ride him, yeah. Especially when he loses control. Well, he accepts Ripper, doesn't he? Halfway through that game, he accepts his past. And then he becomes, I'm Jack the Ripper. This goes crazy.
Yes. I'm a fan of Raiden. I don't care what everyone else
Now,
says.
is this the right? Obviously, we want to wind up and everything, but Raiden is the guy from number 2, yeah.
Raiden.
Number 2 with the blonde hair, yeah.
Number 2, blonde hair. You start off as him, and you're like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. We
That's
start,
how I remember.
Well,
so I played
start
one,
off
I
as
played
a
you start
two,
off as
but-
Snake,
and
yeah.
then you
and
then
then
you
you
go
end up
riding like seconds
grading,
later,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
12 minutes later.
yeah,
The Snake part's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
tutorial, basically.
The
yeah.
guy
Because
who's
I've
into
only
it, I
played
like
the
that
first
riding,
two.
for God's sake.
I've only played the first two all the way through. The others I've like kind of missed out on. So
Snake Eater was good because it gave us a bit of
I suggest,
backstory.
yeah, playing Snake Eater, that was fantastic.
Yeah, the other one, the
Mhm.
PSP version, wasn't as good. Sons of Patriots.
It's decent, it has a good story.
Yeah,
A lot about nuclear deterrence.
yeah, I
And-
played
very
that
well
a bit, but I think it lost me a bit, so I
and
didn't
the
finish
construction
it.
of Outer Haven. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that story. The gameplay was like meh. It was kind of like Monster Hunter, but Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
As in, you have missions, you do missions. Yeah.
And also, you
But
can't be
still,
seen for the life of you.
Decent play.
And you have cardboard boxes in the middle of a jungle. Nice.
Yeah. Which
Yeah,
is
this is
completely,
the infamous kind of
solid.
like I know about this. This has sort of like become a meme in a way, hasn't it? That like you've got Solid Snake sort of like scuttling around in a cardboard box. Am I right? in
Yep,
saying
that's
that?
right.
It's just mad. It's
It
madness.
upgraded to barrels and stuff.
Yes, it did.
It's always been a cardboard box as well.
And you can roll the barrel over, and you can actually roll on the floor and knock people over.
Yeah.
That's
But,
ridiculous.
but you couldn't go too much, otherwise you had to throw up. You're like,
Yeah.
it's also the
That's
game.
hilarious.
It's also the game which is infamous for having a porn magazine. You can open it up, put it on the you put it on the floor.
Yeah.
As the soldiers walk by, they'd go, "Oh," and then they'd crouch down and start jacking off in front of it.
What, the actual soldiers?
Yeah,
They don't get any sort of. There's a little animation, but it's not like it's.
yeah,
that
but they're not actually.
explicit.
Isn't it just like an exclamation mark above the head or something?
And then they're going, "Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah."
So is this guy? Is he called Hideo Kojima? The guy who
Oh, yeah.
Hideo
Got
Kojima, yeah, Hideo Kaido.
Oh,
Hideo
sorry,
Kojima.
I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, he's meant to be a bit of a character, isn't he?
Oh, his
He is,
stories
yeah.
are brilliant. You know what I mean? I could read a book of his stories. You know what I mean? Twists and turns, you wouldn't see them coming. You know what I mean? It just completely blindsides you every time. It's like, whoa, where did that one come from?
In the last
Well,
few
I mean,
minutes,
I
we
might-
mentioned.
Go on.
I was going to say I might be able to give you some feedback on this game after I download it.
Be interesting
Yeah.
to hear what
For
you
the
say.
next
Actually,
podcast.
to be honest.
Yeah. I think you'll be a little bit lost, I think, because I missed out on one or two of the games, and I'm just like, what the hell? But interestingly enough, we've mentioned memes and porn right there. So I'm gonna just
Right standards
memes,
today.
memes, whatever,
Memes.
memes. Yeah, there's some confusion about what you actually call it, but you know what I mean. And my mate showed
Just don't
me
call it
yesterday.
memes.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, memes. So he showed me a meme.
meme. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was mobile phones and showing them through the ages, and it basically just shows off like they started really big and we made them smaller until the point when we realised we could get porn on them, and then they started getting bigger again.
We need a bigger screen.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that is genius, and that is the only reason I'm sure of it. I'm really
Yeah,
sure of it.
you've got these boardroom guys in the Apple saying, we
Yeah.
need streaming rich content media, and they're all sat there going, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
You're saying
basically.
it's your customers like wanking off to their phones.
Also,
That's what you're saying.
also, we need higher
it's
clarity. We need OLED screens on ours. We need to see
Yeah.
the ejaculation
exactly what's
leave.
going on.
We need
Yeah.
the
We find
all
that
the
the
colours.
increasing demand of our customers to see the detail up close.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh my
it
God.
was quite funny that once you started getting the internet on and you realised you could actually get porn on your phone, they seem to be getting bigger the screens as they go along.
It's fucking crazy that, but it's so true.
Yeah.
It's so
Oh yeah.
Well, I think it plays a definite part in the fact that the screens are getting bigger.
Yes.
Media content.
I'm definitely gonna have to flag this
Media
YouTube video
content.
for mature content in this
Yeah.
podcast.
Sorry,
We
did
ruined it. It was all going so well up to that point.
did I ruin it by effing? Sorry about
No,
that.
no,
Well,
no,
to be
no,
honest
no,
with you,
you're fine. Effing and
Rich
effing's
said
fine.
ejaculation. so-
Yes.
And you said the anchor word,
Yeah.
The yanking.
I said janking.
the anking word.
Yeah. jacking
Yeah,
one
we've
off.
ruined it. We've gone all mature. We're
We've
all
gone all
mature,
mature now.
guys.
Oh well.
God damn it.
We're all
God
mature.
damn it! How did I become a 34-year-old so quickly?
I asked myself that about being 38. Trust me.
Right then, right
I'm the
then.
youngest. Youngest.
Wow,
You've also got a picture of Link, so
26.
He really is the baby of the bunch.
26.
Yeah.
I am the baby of you.
Oh, he's still in his 20s, eh?
Oh, bless.
Oh.
We're gonna have to get a
Yeah.
picture of him now. We're gonna put it on for next podcast. The Link. He's gonna have a
No.
little baby boy picture in a nappy.
Oh,
Yep.
I have a baby face anyway.
Apparently, Ben's at his sexual peak now. I was reading an article on the BBC, and apparently, through the things, Ben is at his sexual peak right now.
Well, that's
We
nice.
are.
Why was the
we're
article
in,
about me? I'm scared.
in your 20s, you're in your physical peak.
What did
in your
BBC know
30s,
about me?
no.
Screw those guys.
20s, you're in your sexual peak. 30s,
Yeah.
you're in your physical peak. 40,
But you don't
shit,
feel
what's
like it, you
40?
guys.
Anyway, I can't remember what the 40s was.
Is it
but
mental peak or something
40s
like
and
that?
50s is your mental peak, yeah.
Right.
And 60s, you're at your happiest, apparently. So,
Right.
You've accepted death.
There
as
you go.
inevitability.
When you're
Yeah.
60, you've said, well, yeah,
You've
you will be
just-
happy.
Mm.
Because you think,
Yeah.
oh, I've had a decent life. I'm not dead.
Yeah.
I've got a few more years left. Whatever.
Yeah.
yeah.
that's true.
Usually, you've kind of paid off your mortgage. You've kind of got a little less money worries and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, apparently, yeah, your mental peaks in your 40s and 50s, and your yeah. But Ben's in his sexual prime right now.
Go get him,
I'm
Ben.
scared
so
of
Go
why-
the
get him.
article about
Why are
me.
you wasting
He's
it
a,
playing
yeah,
video games?
He's a sexual tyrannosaurus.
Hey, I'm playing The Witcher. That's
Stop
not me,
wrestling
man.
your sore ass plane.
Oh, why is it with it?
You're going to be smooth talking to ladies. That's what
Yeah.
it's been. Hey, Ben.
Right
Don't
then.
want this, no.
No.
Going out, that's not a thing.
Yeah. I'll have to socialise with people. God damn it.
No, they're not in my room. They're not. They don't care about them.
Oh dear, dear. Right, okay, let's wrap this up then, guys. Let's wrap this up. Right
Yeah.
then. Let's go around the table. Ben, where can we find you? What are you going to be doing this week?
Well, after Friday, I'll be definitely playing Splatoon quite a bit, and I'll still obviously be playing The Witcher. And I'm on Wii U, but I can't for the life of me remember if there's even a gaming tag on Wii U. But for anything else, it's PSN on Gilandral. And I'll
Nice.
say this for ending: Squid Girls make everything better. No, cute Squid Girls.
You blew your own tagline.
I know, crap. Yeah, shut up.
Chris, where
Squid
can we
Girls
find
do
you?
anyway, let's face it.
Yep.
I will be. I am in a fortunate position to have quite a lot of time on my PS4 this weekend and the rest of this week. So I will be bimbling around on trying to get some Prison of Elders done tomorrow and Friday, and hopefully Saturday. But I will be, from payday, looking to pick up a copy of Borderlands: The Handsome Collection.
Oh yes, so we'll
Because-
definitely got to catch up with us, haven't we?
Oh.
Let's make a video on that.
Yeah, my initial incursion into the game has been very pleasing.
Yes.
So
It is
so
a bullet hell.
yeah, it's pretty much like at the minute I'd consider it the second best PS4 game I've played after Destiny.
Mm.
So,
But you haven't
it
played
could-
Witcher
it could
yet,
surpass
so
no. No, but the Handsome Collection is looking good. It's looking very solid. It's looking like something I need to buy.
Yeah, it's good to dip
So
back
that's
into
me.
it. Good to dip back into that game. Very good game. And Greg, what are you doing then?
yeah, I'm just going to be playing Witcher, to be honest. That's pretty much it. I might even stretch out to a little bit of Destiny, because I do need to kind of get back on it. I've kind of been neglecting my Destiny for Witcher,
It is your
but I'm going to be
Destiny.
playing a hell of a lot of Witcher still. There's a hell of
Yeah.
a lot more Witcher to go. Level cap's something like 35, is it?
No,
think-
I've seen
is it not?
weapons of level 40 odd,
Oh god.
and I'm like,
Wow.
when does it end?
I'm only level 15, so there's still a hell of a lot, and I've been playing it a lot.
Level
So
20,
I've
and
got
I've been
even
getting that
more
a
to
lot.
do.
Cool. Cool.
So-
Well,
Of course, I'm
Witcher.
presuming like every RPG, your leveling starting to slow down now as well.
It's been an average.
It
It's
tends
just
to
the
have
first level was
it
the
has a
slowest.
weird, it has a funny system, doesn't it? Because basically, really quickly, the XP that you get, it depends on the level of the quest, and you get the same amount, and it seems to.
You hardly
Yeah,
get
you
anything
seem
from
to level
monsters.
up the same kind of thing as well, though.
Right.
You seem to level up at the similar kind of level all the way
Yeah,
through. I haven't noticed a
it's a nice
slowdown.
curve, yeah. The only
Yeah,
problem was at the very beginning when everything was higher level than me. I was like,
yeah,
but
because
it's become
there
much
was a
better.
bit of a weird, like there seemed to be about a 2 or 3 level disconnect for me. Like getting from 3 to 5 or 6 was really difficult.
It was
But I just
1 to
don't think
2
I
for
kind
me.
of grasped what was going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's one
so
of those
yeah,
games
Witcher.
that punishes you.
Yeah.
Punishes you until you get good. Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
know that
Oh,
game.
mate. Yeah, kind of. But anyway, yeah, I'll be on Witcher 3 mainly on the PlayStation Network. You
Cool.
can find me Greg_1982.
Cool. And as for me, I've been glued to my laptop for the past few minutes looking at the Magicka 2. It's on PlayStation 4 at the moment. I'm like, yep, they made Helldivers and that game is good.
Yeah.
So I might be
Like
having
Magicka 1, that game is good.
Yep, I might be having a little detour into that. Apart from that myself, I'll be still returning to Destiny as we should be doing. Looking at that, and also playing Air Mech at the moment. So Air Mech, we didn't get around to this. Air Mech is a damn good
Right.
game on the PlayStation
yeah.
Store at the moment. It's an RTS style twin stick shooter. That's the best way I can put it. It's an RTS twin stick. And
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that actually.
yeah, it's actually it's pretty damn
I've got
good.
it downloaded.
Yeah, it does like a 3v3 mode as well, so you can hopefully play with friends and all sorts and have a good time with it. Sounds all sorts of good and fun. Apart from that, you can find me on YouTube, which is a man in tights, Twitch, which is a man in tights with underscores, and our PlayStation Network, which is a man in tights with hyphens. Apart from that, I think we're all done here, gentlemen.
We are indeed.
We
Good
are
day.
indeed, and we shall see
Thank you very much for your time.
on the next podcast.
Yep. I'll see you next time.
See you
Ta-da!
soon, guys.
Bye.